Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and here's another comic, Die, 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 by Image, Skybound. Mature readers, definitely mature readers. Issue number 7, Skybound hopes they're done in time for the early bird special. Look at this cover. I'll just let this soak in here for a moment. Gruesome. And just look at these cat drawings. It's like farcical and violent at the same time. This book is something else. If you've been following along with my reviews, or even better, reading the books yourself, which I recommend, this is a thumbs up for me. This book, number 7, feels like the conclusion of the first story arc. We left off with these two in Connie's apartment. He'd snuck in, as a gun on her. Presumably they're going to get in a fight. Let's see what happens. Now, in every single Die, Die, Die comic, they have like this beginning establishment panels. So I'm going to go through because you'll see why. Kula is a Yuan, one of the lesser-known alien species secretly living on Earth. They are bitter enemies with the Koilaxians, the master race that monitors all Earth activity from within the hollow moon. So the Yuans hide better than most. A shape-shifting species, hiding is very easy to them, and Kula is one of the best, although holding a form for more than a few days can be exhausting. Thankfully, their natural form is quite cuddly and adorable. So when she was separated from her people and discovered that by the Chavez family in the Chicago suburbs, she was able to pose as a family pet. She took a liking to the family's eldest daughter, Anita. Eventually, Kula revealed her true nature to her, and they became the closest of friends. When Anita was old enough, Kula went off to college with her and to law school and beyond. She was instrumental in Anita's first campaign and has been her closest advisor. When the assassin's bullet ripped through Anita's heart, Kula knew there was only one thing she could do. For the sake of her friend, she would give up her life and merge with Anita to repair her body so that she could live on. She couldn't allow her friend to die. Yeah, if you've been following along, you understand. Like this, I was like, what the literal, where is this book going? I did not expect this. So this picks up from where we left off. He's holding her at gunpoint. And I'm not sure how I want to review this book because, I normally spoil it, but this is the final book. Well, I feel like this is the final book in the arc for various reasons. And one thing I like about this book, this particular issue, I should say, is all the stuff that we've been watching so far, and the different events and the activities of these different assassins that we've been introduced in and what they're doing. This book sort of explains what's going on. All these different hits and killings and so forth have all been sort of like chess moves by these two. And when you read this comic, I forget the actor's name, but if you've seen Princess Bride, the little guy who's when he's has the poison, and he's like, I know what you're thinking. You think that if I think that you did this and da 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 da. His voice, it just never. Oh, I'm blowing it because I can't remember the scene. It's been a while, but I think you know the character I'm talking about. You read it in his voice. It really works for this character. So what's happening is he thinks he has the upper hand, and he's like, doing the villainous monologue, and she's just like, sorry, Mittens. What? Boot. Wow. right onto his face. Fucking hell. So like she's not having it. So it's like she punches him in the face and tries to throw another punch, and he catches it and saying, "You don't get lucky twice." Oosh. Punch in the gut. That was your plan, to fight me? You actually thought you could overpower me? You dumb bitch, you're so fucking dead. Look at the balls on this guy. Haryuken! Oh, puke. Just getting started. Wham, 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 wham. Men are pathetic. Meow. Meow. This book is, I don't know, it's so dark, but like comedically dark. It's bizarro. I can't stop reading this book. And then she's like, "The fair sex, what a joke. You idiots are an evolutionary mistake. You've got shutdown buttons dangling between your legs. Who thought that was a good idea? Still, you've built an entire society around discrediting us. We're delicate creatures who fight like girls. We're bossy, ditzy, hysterical, but never funny. Fuck you. Our roles are reversed today. I pull that fucking trigger, you die. Then I go out for cheesecake." Look at this cat's licking herself. Just little details like that. But no. Your ego can't have that. You've got to gloat. I don't understand how any of you survive in this business. You're so easy to manipulate. You have to be the strongest, the smartest, the best, or at least convince yourself that that's the case. Or you crumble. So it's kind of funny. She's like mocking him because she's the ego and stuff, and now she's doing the same thing. So now she's sitting in the chair. Don't let me get wrong, it'd be a whole lot of fun. Thankfully the majority of you aren't bad, blah, 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 blah. What's this? Are you gloating already? Now who has the ego? And so they kind of go back and forth, and they kind of explain that they're like their moves. So he's just like, "Ha, yes, I am, dried up old cunt, because you seem to have no fucking clue what is actually going on. If you think anything you do in this room will be any way to alter my plans, you haven't been paying attention." So he starts explaining like the different pieces of the puzzle, like his chess moves and what he's been doing this whole time. And, you know, in a way that she doesn't like understand. But we as a reader know that she's on to him because in the last issue she found out. It's like, "So go ahead and try to kill me. Even if you succeed, you'll walk out to the door as a person who assassinated the president. Maybe you do something smart. Maybe you work with me and I can..." Wait, why are you smiling? Because she's already got that. And here we see the plan starting to go in action. Secret Service agent. And got the George, Paul. Can't even keep track of their names anymore. Waiting to assassinate. He kills the Secret Service agent, as we'd kind of expect. And this is how he's going to assassinate the president. You know, being in the secret agent's place. That kind of makes sense to me. I thought that was interesting. It's like, oh my god, you've got your agent, whom I think is my agent, in place of assassinating our president? You clearly outsmarted me. There's nothing I can do. You have no idea how to stop you. No, wait, yes I do, because I've already gotten it done. She's like putting her fingers to her mouth, like, oh, and he's just like, "Ah, fucking bitch. Listen, you've always been an insufferable ass, and I never trusted you." And so she's now revealing, like, what she knows, like all the, like, flashback scenes of, like, here's how I was onto your plan, blah, 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 and how I outsmarted you, and all this stuff. And she's friends with the president, and she's better at the secret sex orgies, and he's just like, "Nah, you fucking bitch." Here we see, which one is this one? George, Paul, John, the good brother. Here we go. Bad brother, good brother. Sorry, I can't keep their names straight. They break in on his plan because they were onto him, like I said. And so they're fighting. And here we go. I thought this was funny. So it was like, what the fuck? What? We have action, north side of the street. Repeat, we have action, north side of the street. So we got Secret Service agents. And they like, alert the ground team, get the president safety. I'll handle this one. And they just start shooting. And he's just like taking bullets. Ow! He's like, you assholes shot me. We're on the same side. And he like looks down. And then he decides to just like let go. And he flips over as he's falling. It's just like blam, 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 blam. They're like, oh shit. Then he falls. I just thought that was a cool action scene. So they're getting the president to safety. And brothers are facing off against each other. I'll let you read all that. And so it's like, so she's done doing her thing. She's like, why is it you're smiling now? Shit yourself or something? You really screwed up this time, woman. You should know by now I'm not going to lose. I have, oh no, not again. So then he starts going back to his chess moves about how those moves outsmarted her moves. Just like, he's launched a nuclear missile to start World War III. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck? And so then we've got Anita, right? So now we know from the beginning of the book, she's in London. He's just like, you're all fucked. And she's just like, he's got his plan. So then now she's just like, will you keep it down? Anita, are you there? She gets on the phone. And she's in London, apparently, or somewhere in the UK. I think it's London. And we've got those husband and wife mercenary team that we saw before. They're there. They've met up. And she's like, ready for what? There's a nuke in the air headed for DC. What can we do? She's like, shut the fuck up and have some confidence. Walk faster. She gets to this thing. It's like, what's their secret lab? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, didn't you say you could fly anything? And they open up the door. Holy shit. And they got like the green glow. So you can assume that whatever they're seeing is probably something really special. You flip the page to see what it is. No, you don't. Instead, you see, thank you, Anita. We're counting on you and your team to get it done. And now he's like, what the fuck? And so it's like that cat and mouse, like back and forth. I outsmarted you. Well, here's how I outsmarted you. And then this, I thought, she's like, she responds to him, motherfucker, I'm a woman. We multitask. Now, part of me, because I'm so like triggered by the SJW nonsense that's pervasive in the comic industry, part of me just had to like, are you really kidding? Really? Because I'm woman, like, but I had to check myself, because is that me overreacting because of the state of the comic industry? Or is this just a realistic way? I mean, she's an alpha woman, right? Like, she's got tons of power. She's megalomaniac. And there are people who think like this. Like, so it's just because a character is thinking this doesn't mean the author's projecting agenda, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So I was like, I'm going to reel that back for the sake of enjoying the book. I'm going to assume, until I get proven otherwise, that this is just a character. And she's a bad person. Like, we're not supposed to like her. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to this is just maybe story purposes. So for that reason, I'm like, all right, I don't know for sure, but it does fit. This is a character who would say something like that. And so I'm okay. Here we go. We have a letters page. I really like that. 2 pages devoted to letters. One thing in particular I thought was interesting is the answer to a letter. Person says, I'm in love with the comic, blah, blah, blah. It says, these guys are the best. Can you imagine wasting their talents on Superman or Batman again? Because they were complimenting the art team and everything. Or even worse, Superman and Batman in the same title. Die, 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 till they die. And then Kirkman's response, shots fired. It's like, damn. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, take it on the big guns. Here's a preview of next issue. They do this every time, redacted. It's like, what's going on the sides? Nothing on the back. So here we go. This is probably my favorite issue so far, simply because I loved seeing these two go at it. Not physically like you see here, although there was a couple interesting scenes. I really do like the drawings of the cats. But I liked it when they were like each bantering back and forth about, he's like, you stupid bitch, here's my plan that you never saw coming. And she's just like, you dumb asshole, like, I totally saw that coming. And she gives back, and it's like, oh yeah, but I thought that might go that way, so I have plan B and plan B. She's just like back and forth. They're schemes, right? And they're just so bad people. And then you've got the actual brothers fighting, and it's like, I wouldn't necessarily say they're good people, but the good brother is kind of good. He just wants out. Like, there's just something so wild about these books. And this one brings the first 6 issue to a nice, not a closing, obviously, there's like more to go, but it brings those first 6 issues and like ties a nice bow around it and makes them feel more cohesive and not so random as they appeared before. You're just like, whoa, now we got a story of these new characters? I don't know what's going on. So this is like a seminal issue. Reminds me a lot of Hawkman, which I just reviewed. The same type of way. You had 6 issues, and then the 7th issue just sort of like came in and said, okay, all those 6 issues you've been reading, let me put this one down and explain to you why they all matter. This one is like the same way. So I have been excited about this book since I picked it up from the comic book store, issue number 1, so many months ago, when they just randomly brought it out. No comic book stores knew they were getting it. There was no announcements. They still don't preview these books in previews or anything, so there's like lots of surprise. And now I know why with the whole Alien. I'm like, what the? Yeah, really curious to see where this book is going. Yeah, this is a total thumbs up. Again, obviously, not everyone wants to see this sort of gruesome violence, even if it is done sort of like tongue-in-cheek, intentionally for dark humor. It's purposely like overdone, and it works for the style of the book that they're doing. I can't ever imagine like how this would ever be adapted like a TV show or anything. This is something that only would work in comics. So hopefully I've piqued your interest. Like I said, if you're not against, if this sort of content doesn't turn you off, this is a wild ride of a story. I spoiled a lot for you, but it's still worth reading, and there's many more books to come. This is a title I recommend getting on if it's your thing. I will keep reviewing them. I hope you'll keep watching. Put your comments down below, and thanks for stopping by.